Back to another episode of Pokemon Knowledge. On today's episode, I'm going to talk about how do I find restocks, because pretty recently, I would say within the last 2 days, I put up a community post pretty much saying that, hey everyone, 151 booster bundles is currently up available on Pokemon Center. I put that post up, and listen, I don't think it was me posting that was what got that thing taken down almost immediately. It just happened. I think it just was bad timing, because before I made that community post, those 151 booster bundles were up on Pokemon Center for about 40 minutes. Unfortunately, they were up for 40 minutes. When I made my post, they were only stayed up for about 4 minutes after the fact. Now, I don't think that's me doing that on my channel. I think that was just happened to be the timing of it, because at that point, after they finally went out of stock, they were up for about 4 minutes after I made my post. 45 minutes in total. I was just a little late to make that post. But I think a lot of people just may not know, like, how are you even finding out about restocks? And somebody wrote in the comments of that community post, was like, hey PK, maybe you want to make these posts like members only. I think that is inherently, I understand why you would want that, but I don't really want to put anything behind any sort of paywall whatsoever. Yes, my channel memberships on my channel are 99 cents, so if you guys are supporting me with the channel memberships, I appreciate it, but even with 99 cents, for me, that is still putting it behind a paywall. I could actually see the benefits of where, like, if I put up a members only post, because my fear is that, like, I spam people with too many posts. So if somebody was a member, it means they, like, wanted to know that information. I get it, it makes sense, but just because it's still technically behind a paywall, even though it's 99 cents, I don't want to do it. But I thought about it, like, literally today, at the time recording this video, I just got a package in the mail, and I don't want to put it up on the screen because I could do this. And I'm going to show you guys where all the stamps are. So those are the stamps. So if you can see the stamps, I'll put it up on the screen for a little bit longer. Yes. If you see where all the stamps on this package came from, bunch of stamps from Indonesia. And I'm guessing you guys out there could probably understand, like, if PK just recently got a package from Indonesia, there could only have been one thing in it. And yes, it is the new Indonesian Promos that has Pikachu wearing clothes. Doesn't matter, it's just a Pikachu card. Said Pikachu has said clothes on it, and it's a Pikachu with clothes on it promo that has a very, very slight barrier of entry to it. That barrier of entry is, one, you have to know it exists, which I find more and more as time goes on, less people just realize stuff exists. Number two, you can't just go to the store and pick it up because it's an Indonesian promo. So I guess there's a couple barriers of entry. One, people don't know it exists. Number two, you can't just go to the store and get it. And number three, you have to buy it online, and you got to buy it from a shipper out of Indonesia. And it's a sub $8 card. I think I paid like $7 and change for each one of these. And so now I got a bunch of Pikachu wearing clothes promos. And I think there's two other ones that exist. This is the third one, and the fourth one's coming out pretty soon. And it's just going to be a nice little thing. Very, very slight barrier of entries. Like, what I just explained to you is not a barrier of entry, but I get it. So maybe people are like, listen, I'm nervous buying from an Indonesian seller. Like, where I can see, like, a community post just to members coming in handy, where I would just post and be like, hey everyone, this promo, which most of, if not 100% of you out there have already bought your big pile of these promos, because they're not rare. Well, listen, this hobby, these things will be worth money in the future. It's just we are literally living in the moment, like the exact millisecond where these things are most abundant. So they're the cheapest. But if I were to put up a community tab like, hey, this seller, which I believe the seller I've bought from has sold a few hundred of these promos, hey, I could verify that he shipped all the promos that I bought from him. So if you're going to buy in big quantities, meaning 20 plus in quantity, I could at least verify for this seller in the sense that I would verify that I got my package from them. And then if you look at their sold listings, they also sold 200 of this exact same promo. Maybe that's where like a community post would be beneficial to people, because then you know, okay, I know PK bought from this guy. I know at least this guy shipped to PK, and I know that this guy has these promos in mass, and he's one of the cheapest possible sellers on eBay because he's selling this promo for sub $8. Maybe I want to buy a couple of these. I could see where that would be beneficial on a community post tab, because then I'm only shooting that out to a very small group of people, and I'm not just like flooding people's feeds nonstop with different community posts. That's where I can see like a benefit for something like that being. But again, channel memberships on my channel are 99 cents. Because it's a paywall, I just don't know if I could actually do it. But I do think it would be fun. And those posts wouldn't be every day. It would just be like, hey, you know that modern Pikachu wearing clothes promo that everyone's doing, and there's gonna be a 10,000 of these things pretty soon, but happens to just be these are some of the first that people are going to get, blah, 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 blah. I could see where the benefit, where that would be. So I'm not going to rule it out, but I don't know. I am hesitant putting anything behind even a 99-cent paywall. But that's the first thing. So I respect who put that comment, but now I'm going to get into the part of the video where I'm just going to show you like very, very, very simple what I do to find good deals. I'm going to show you 2 things, and between those 2 things you'll be able to get some good deals. First thing is Pokemon TCG Drops on Twitter. If you go on Pokemon TCG Drops Twitter, he is one of many Pokemon like Restock X accounts. It used to be Twitter, now it's X. So I'm going to throw it up right now. So hold on. Let me do this. Let me make my screen like this, and then like that. Okay, there we go. So, this is Pokemon TCG Drops on Twitter. I've talked about him, I don't know. I probably have 700 videos on this channel. Maybe I've brought him up on 600 of them. Pokemon TCG Drops, if you go search my channel, he's been on my channel for an interview. He has like 90,000 subscribers. Somehow I'm one of his 114 people that he's following, even though I don't post. He follows me. But yeah, 90,000 followers. He puts up good deals, like here you go. Recently up at Bucks, Stellar Crown, Paradox Rift booster box cases. You could show more. Let's see. Here we go. Stellar Crown booster box cases, $5.92. So he posted this 4 hours ago. Paldea Evolved ETB cases, $3.19. So are these the cheapest possible prices? No. If you want to shop around, you could probably find cheaper. But if you wanted to just blindly go into it and find cheap prices, this is good. He posted when the 151 bundles were up on Pokemon Center, and then even if you go to like right here, Obsidian Flames ETBs, $28.97. The promo in this thing is so hot right now. That was on August 30th, so 12 days ago at the time recording this video. He showed, where was it? Right here. This was like pre-release for Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown booster box cases, $5.69. So if you got it at pre-order through Forge and Fire, you could have picked it up for $5.69 a case. And if you just waited, literally 4 hours ago, he posted cases for $5.92. So if you waited and didn't get them at pre-release and you waited now, you have to spend an extra $30 per case. So that's one thing that I recommend, is following Pokemon TCG Drops. And if you put on notifications on Twitter, he's a great resource for restocks. But then I always recommend Discords too. And not just any Discords. First of all, if you join Discords, people are going to be talking about like Pokemon restocks and stuff. But you can just go to Rattle's Discord. I've talked about Rattle's Discord on I don't know how many videos. There's a link to Rattle's Discord in the description of this video and a link to Pokemon TCG Drops Twitter. But on Rattle, I don't know if you guys know this. See, this is the thing. I take a lot of stuff for granted. People out there might not know. Do you know that on Rattle Discord, there is literally a bot that just does restocks? Like, if you look, I'll move my head. It says it right here. Oh, it's kind of cut off, but Restock Monitor. It's literally bots that just ping these websites. So it pings Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Best Buy, Costco, eBay, GameStop, Pokemon Center, this is Pokemon Center, Sam's Club, Target, Troll and Toad, Walmart, Sakura's Card Shop, TCG Player, Fanatics, and then there's like a chat. So this one is just Pokemon Center, right? So I posted that Pokemon Center 151 bundle, and I put it up on my community post. It was up for 4 minutes, and then it went out of stock. That wasn't the only time these bundles were up on Pokemon Center. In the last 2 days, Pokemon Center has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pokemon Center has had 6 restocks of those 151 bundles in the last 2 days. So I promise you, if people out there think you've missed your shot at 151 like booster bundle reprints, you haven't. They were just restocked 6 times in the last 2 days. It's hard to sometimes know when all this is happening, but you can just go on here and look at what time they're posted. And then there's like the coins too, not the coins, the pins. They're doing, Pokemon Center's doing 1 per month. I think they're on number 8. Yes, 8 out of 12. But then in this Rattle Discord, like when the Silver Tempest booster 3-pack blisters went up, when the Fusion Strike booster boxes went up, it will ping you. Trust me, on the back end of this, Evolving Skies, if Evolving Skies booster boxes ever go into restock, it's going to hit. But this was just Pokemon Center. Now you could click on Best Buy. So here's the Best Buy restock bot on Rattle's Discord. Just in the last 2 days. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There was 14 restocks of Pokemon 151 booster bundles in the last 2 days on Best Buy. 14 restocks. That is a lot of restocks in the last 2 days. If you want 151 booster bundles, now is your chance. There is no better time than right now, today, to pick up these booster bundles because they're all over the place. If you're having trouble finding these, you just have to do something so simple as join the Rattle Discord and look at the restocks. Between Best Buy and Pokemon Center, what was that? 21 restocks of 151 booster bundles in the last 2 days. If anybody out there has not got booster bundle restocks and they still want them, I just told you there's 21 restocks in the last 2 days. The information's out there. Like, take advantage of it. And Rattle Discord is a phenomenal resource for so much stuff. I'm telling you, it's well ran between Rattle and Blasty. Blasty's been on this channel. Obviously, Rattle's been on this channel. Go watch the interview with Blasty if you want to get a little bit of a background of, like, there's a lot. This is stuff. These are just very small examples. I'm not going to spend 2 hours showing you every single website, whether it's Forge and Fire, whether it's obviously the Discords, whether it's Twitters, whether it's Safari Zone. We could do a whole video just talking about some of the crazy deals that pop up on Safari Zone once in a while. But yeah. So listen, these are very, very small things that you can do to pick up restocks, and I recommend it. It's out there, especially if you want 151 like booster bundles. If you want to like know about random promos and shit that pop up, like obviously your Poke Beaches, but you got to join Discords. There's going to be somebody in some Discord talking about some new product or some new promo, and there's people talking about everything. For this channel, mainly I talk about the trading card aspect of this hobby. But trust me, there's a huge group of people there that like all the Halloween merch, restocks, statues, coins, pins, coffee mugs, book bags, playmats, binders, you name it. Whatever Pokemon Center sells, whatever Pokemon products, people are interested in, there's a group of people in this hobby that are very diehard collectors for certain items. So I definitely recommend you joining Discord. Discord above all other, because that's where you're going to find out the most information the quickest way possible. Because I think I saw it in somebody's chat. It was like, PK, how do you find restocks? Find somebody to do all the work and have them DM you? There's a little bit of shred of truth to that. Shout out to Garen M. Garen M is the MVP of restocks when it came to Evolving Skies booster box restocks. Garen M hit me up when it came recently in the last few weeks for the Fusion Strike booster box reprint for the original 151 restock. Garen M is an all-star. Cannot thank Garen enough. I don't know what I did in my life to be so lucky to have somebody like a Garen M who hits me up when all the restocks. So Garen, if you're out there, buddy, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So there is a little shred of truth to that. So when they wrote, PK, how do you find out about this? Have somebody do all the work for you? Yes, Garen M. I will take none of the credit for Garen. Garen does all the work. Dude's an all-star. But at the end of the day, a lot of what that is in Discords, you have a lot of Garen M's. Maybe not to the all-star degree that Garen M exists, but there's a lot of people in Discords that are constantly posting restocks and stuff. So if you guys are looking for deals, this is it. That's the title of the video. How I find Pokemon restocks. It's just knowing where to look. Knowing where to look on Twitter, knowing where to look on Discord. And if you want 151, now we're going to go to what the thumbnail was, a little meme-ish thumbnail, like now's your last chance. 151, it's not your last chance, meaning I just showed you there was 21 restocks of Pokemon 151 booster bundles between Best Buy and Pokemon Center in the last 2 days. 21 restocks. I literally just showed you on the screen all the restocks. With that said, 151, I believe, is just, this is kind of obvious fact. It's just so hot right now. It's getting scooped up. There is there's a huge supply right now hitting the market. Right now during this reprint, this is going to be your cheapest opportunity to buy 151. So if you have not picked up 151, my recommendation to you is you do not sleep through this reprint and say, I'm just going to wait for prices to crash. I'm going to wait for the next restock. I don't know if we're getting another restock. Maybe. 151 for Scarlet and Violet is super hot, right? Obviously, it's one of the biggest sets. Everybody loves it. Could there be another restock in the future? I'm not ruling it out because the demand is clearly there. But if that restock doesn't happen, I don't want you to just sleep on this restock. I'm telling you, you are living right now in the moment of the best time to buy 151. So if you want to put positions up, if you want to put away a couple cases of booster bundles, you don't got to go, just buy one case. Buy one case, put it away if you don't have a ton of money. If you do have a ton of money, maybe you want to consider putting away a couple cases of, 151 booster bundles. What's going to go on with Pokemon Center? Are we going to see 151 Pokemon Center exclusive ETB reprints? I'm leaning towards no. I don't think that's personally going to happen. Could I be wrong? Sure. Am I okay with that? Yes. What's my position in Pokemon Center 151 ETBs? It's 4. I have one sealed case that I got at I put my pre-order in when the 151 pre-orders. I haven't touched it since. I haven't acquired to that position. I haven't taken anything out. So if it did get a reprint, it's not the end of the world for me. I love those more exclusive type promos. If you've been following this channel for any time, anything that has a Pokemon Center stamp on it, sign me up. I'm all in. But yeah. UPCs, we're starting to see some UPCs trickle out. I don't know if what I'm seeing trickle out for the UPCs, though, are actual restocks of the 151 UPCs, or if it's just, obviously, the prices of 151 is going down in general. I mean, I showed on the screen a little bit ago booster bundles. There was a period of time where booster bundles were selling for like $50 because the supply just wasn't there to meet the demand. But now that the demand's there, we're seeing prices across the board, retrace, but it's a healthy retrace. Like we're in the thick of a reprint. It's not a crash. It's just a correction of the price because supply is readily available. But with that said, I'm wondering if that's having some effect on people that were sitting on 151 UPCs, and because they're seeing the price of Pokemon 151 go down, like they're selling their UPC position. Maybe. I'm leaning towards it didn't get reprinted. But then I've also seen some poster collections and stuff, and I don't know if that's just people getting nervous. 151, if you asked a lot of people, if you had to say, if you were going to pick any set of Scarlet and Violet that was most prime for a reprint, what would it have been? I feel like close to 10 out of 10, and that is very rare in this hobby. If you pooled 10 people and said which Scarlet and Violet product had the highest likelihood of a reprint, I feel like 10 out of 10 people would have said 151. So just keep all that in the back of your mind. Listen, you guys do not know, every Thursday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do go live, so if you guys have any questions that you want answered, feel free to write them in the chat now. Let me know if you don't use Discords or Twitters, or where are you learning about your restocks, because I just showed you, if you're just tuning in right now, you go to the beginning of this video, I showed you Pokemon TCG Drops, I showed you the Rattle Discord, there's links for both those down in the description. Especially Pokemon TCG Drops. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and be like, I can't find this account. He's been on a live on my channel. Speaking of being on a live on my channel, we got to check in with old Basic Trainer. Is it soon time to have Basic Trainer on a live? No Time 7 said, hey PK, Brilliant Stars is a sleeper set no one is talking about. Nobody's talking about it as a big set of Sword and Shield until the day comes. People think too much about today's data and forget about how Fusion Strike went from 92 to 215. Fusion Strike didn't go from 92. Fusion Strike was down in the 80s. So, realistically, Fusion Strike went from about 80 to 215. So, yeah. Corey said, how long until he says Dan? As in Dan Catch 'Em All Collectibles or Twilight? Well, I just knocked out both of those, so you can mark both those off of your bingo card. But unfortunately, it took me about 22 minutes, I think, to say either Twilight or Dan. Let's see. Katie, good to see you, Katie. She said, 3 things are certain in this life. Death, taxes, and PK going live on a Thursday night. Yes, Katie. Appreciate it, Katie. Basic, we got Thrifty TCG, Garen M. Oh, there's Garen M. So, everybody needs an ace up their sleeve. Garen M is my ace up my sleeve when it really comes to, true restocks. So Matt Denard said, if I'm subscribed, does that mean membership new to all this YouTube sightings? I don't have anything behind paywalls. Somebody put it on a comment, and I was just talking my way through like what that would look like, but I just can't. I can't put anything behind a paywall. I think Pokemon information needs to be free. It is free. And really, one of the reasons I'm so upset about paywalls is what I just showed you on Rattle's Discord, where he has all the bots that ping all these, Best Buys and Pokemon Center. Trust me, these bots are in the background. They're pinging Pokemon Center. Evolving Skies booster boxes on Pokemon Center probably gets pinged by 800 Discords. 3,000 different bots are freaking pinning Evolving Skies booster boxes on Pokemon Center. It's just every second of every day, it's pinging that thing to see if if they went from out of stock to available. That's why how you have a lot of these people that when the restocks happen, it's these bots are pinging it in the background, just nonstop, ping, ping, ping. So one of the things that I hated was there was a lot of Discord groups that existed that were all behind paywalls for people who literally just pay for that, to have some bot that they could follow pinging all these different websites all the time trying to get restocks, and that really pissed me off. And that was one of the reasons that I really disliked paywall content, because I think everything needs to just be level playing fields. Obviously, everybody is going to get different advantages, and I feel like one of the most simple advantages that comes the deeper you get into this hobby is just your knowledge base. Just understand. It's not just understanding like about this information, it's just understanding where to find it. Does that make sense? And I'm always surprised at how few people just want to do that one or two extra steps just to find out about this information. Like, if it is free, well, where is it available? And probably, unfortunately, when this video is all said and done, it'll probably get 1,000 views. And out of those 1,000 views, probably, unfortunately, like maybe 100 of the people watching that video will be like, I didn't know in the Rattle Discord there was a bot that's going to tell me when Pokemon 151 booster bundles go up, you know, on Pokemon Center. Maybe they've never even seen Pokemon TCG Drops, and they go and they follow through all his posts, and you could go back 3-4 years and you're going to be like, wait a second. 2 years ago, I could have been getting Lost Thunder ETBs. I could have got Celestial Storm ETBs on Pokemon Center 2 years ago. That was up. Wait, what? I didn't even know this was a thing. And the farther back you go on his Twitter or his Twitter feed, the crazier the deals get, you know. And especially people who don't, sometimes they don't know, like, what are the trusted websites. You know, that's good to be in a Discord and you ask people. It's like, hey, is this website trustful? And if somebody's like, no, Rattle made 3 videos about them in 2021, I probably wouldn't go with that website. Like, you learn all that information too. This hobby has so much information that exists. It's an encyclopedia of Pokemon knowledge. I understand that's the name of my channel, but it's an encyclopedia of Pokemon knowledge that exists out there, and the information is so scattered through so many different people, through so many different like Discords and groups. But one of the big challenges, but one of the things that you'll find yourself being most benefited by is knowing where that information is located. There's a lot of questions to this hobby that I can't tell you the answer immediately off of the top of my head, but I could always tell you where you can find that information. It's, you know, it's like pack weighing. I bring this example up on multiple lives on multiple occasions. I always talk about pack weighing. People always say, like, PK, how do I know some of this mid-air stuff? Like, what do I look for weights? Because I know it gets tricky. I know you have your easy sets the way, your base set Jungle Fossil, and then it gets a little tricky with Team Rocket until you get to some of, like, your early Nintendo sets. So I know it gets a little tricky with, like, the Hidden Legends. What do I look for pack weights? I cannot tell you what a heavy or light Sandstorm pack is. I do not know heavy or light Sandstorm weights off the top of my head, but I know where to find those answers. Does that make sense? Like, sure, you know, maybe I could tell you anything over 21 grams for base set. Yeah, sure, that number is ingrained in my head, but I can't tell you the difference between a heavy Sandstorm pack versus a light. But I could tell you, go to Josh the Old Card Shop, because E4 has a database, a pack weighing database, and Josh is one of the very few moderators that exist for that pack weighing database. And to be honest with you, you don't have to really go to Josh. You could just type into Google search, you know, pack weights Pokemon, and it's probably going to pull up that E4, you know, Google spreadsheet automatically. But if you wanted to maybe go the next level and be like, hey Josh, and the reason why I keep mentioning Sandstorm, ironically, Sandstorm is, I believe, Josh's favorite set of all of Pokemon. So if you wanted to ask Josh, like, the actual true nuances of Sandstorm, like, what are heavies, what are lights, he's personally weighed out so many, you know, Sandstorm packs, so he has a good pulse on that set in particular. I don't know how that worked out, but it did. That the set I was talking about happened to be probably the set that Josh is an expert in above all others. There's probably very few people out there that know Sandstorm better than Josh, especially when it comes to, like, heavy versus light. Yes, maybe we do live in this weird ether where everything works out, but it's good to know those people. And obviously Rusty is a great database for so many things, but Rusty's sometimes tough to get a hold of, you know, for certain people. So, you know, it's just, where can you find the information? Because all the information exists. I promise you. information for every question that you ever wanted to ask or ever thought about asking or ever will think about asking. That question has probably been asked and answered at some point in some timeline of this hobby. And if you could just very quickly pull out that information, it makes your life so much easier. So yeah, I definitely recommend joining Discord groups. No Time 7 said, question, what happens if Pokemon Company doesn't reprint any set booster boxes, keep pushing stuff in auxiliary products like the UPCs, etc.? Another 2020 LOL. I don't think we see anything quite like 2020, but we can definitely see booster boxes really, really pull far away from all the other auxiliary products. I mean, Evolving Skies is a great example. You look at Evolving, because that's super modern. I mean, Evolving Skies, that's August 2021. We're not far away from August 2021, and then Fusion Strike was, what, November 2021? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, 2021. So, Fusion Strike was November 2021. Vivid Voltage was November 2020. Cosmic Eclipse was November 2019. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Anyways, yeah, so Fusion Strike was November. Evolving Skies was August. So we're not that far away from when that was released, you know? But then you look at what the booster box price is versus the single pack prices, like how far away those two products had pulled away. And we obviously see the huge, you know, sealed product premium that booster box prices have. So will we see another 2020 boom? No, but we can definitely see these booster boxes definitely 100% pull away from like single pack prices. Let's see. The Frisky Squid said, no reason to make community posts members only. Yeah, the drops are always posted in Discords and Twitter. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do it. But I said, like, the post would be for this promo. Because it would be, hey, I bought from this seller on eBay. He sent me all these promos. This is one buy I got in the mail today. Pikachu, he's got fucking clothes on. It's a less than $8 sealed promo. I'm probably going to do good. What's your worst case scenario? You lose $8. Is this card going to go to zero? Is this ever a $0 card? Not a lot of hills I'm willing to die on, but I never believe that this card makes it to $0, because if it does, it doesn't matter that I've died on that hill, because I would be happy to die on that hill. If everything goes to zero, I would not be a happy camper. So I think where it would be benefit is be like, hey, this is a seller I bought from. He shipped all the items to me. He's also sold a few hundred of these. If you guys are looking for this promo in particular, if you're looking for it in bulk and you don't want to get scammed, this is somebody I recommend. I think that's where it would be more beneficial than be like, Pokemon Center has 151, you know, booster bundles up for sale. And that card collector said, yeah, he's talking about his Indonesian Pokemon guy, yes. Jimbo Slice says, the only problem is I get so many notifications that sometimes he misses a good one. That's tough too, yeah. Chill Phil said, yeah, saw my 151 booster bundle post and within 3 minutes they were out of stock, yeah. But it was weird because they were up for 40 minutes before I made my post. But this is the thing, I just don't have a big enough reach on my channel where my one community post, I think it was just happened to be very, very bad timing that my post was a little later. It was 40 minutes into, 40 minutes is a long time. If anybody okay, let me catch myself from what I'm going to say this. I was about to say if anybody wanted booster bundles, they could get them. But even then, 40 minutes in this hobby for hot products, 40 minutes seems like an eternity. But in reality, 40 minutes is not a long time. So, let's see. Yeah, people are saying, yeah, sometimes. Well, that's the thing too. People are talking about unmuted Discords. Trust me, I never recommend to people that you have every single message in every single Discord group pinging at all times. You can go into your settings and say, okay, notifications for this channel, notifications for this one. Don't do it for this one. Let's see. Chill Phil said he bought 10 of the Gengar tins recently when they went up. On a local, LGS is still trying to get $45 for booster bundles, and they charge TCG player price for a booster box of Twilight Masquerade. Yeah, that's... LGSs are one of those things, it's people pay that, I guess you would call it, what, the convenience fee, the convenience tax, meaning you're in a local LGS, you walk in, and the product's right there on the shelf, so it's immediate satisfaction. It's all that dopamine, everything in your brain, it's just all hitting at once, because it's like, oh, I want to rip 151. Yes, right now I could go on PokemonCenter.com, buy it on Pokemon Center, but then I gotta wait 4 days for FedEx to ship it to me. Pokemon Center is pretty quick. I don't know if I'm just super lucky, but it's like less than a week. But then you'll have people out there and they're like, no, I just want to walk in my local LGS. I don't want to buy it online. I don't want to wait a week. I just want to get that instant dopamine rush of opening packs. So they'll pay that crazy premium. Then for booster boxes, the same thing. Local LGS, I mean, I never understand, just TCG player prices in general. I know you said local LGS, but then you also mentioned TCG player. I never buy on TCG Player. There are so many websites out there that constantly exist. Just recently on Labor Day, I forget who sent it to me, but on Labor Day, there was Labor Day was last Monday, right? So last Monday, there was a bunch of Labor Day sales on, I forget which website, but they had, I don't want to tell you the wrong prices, but I know it was Scarlet and Violet base booster boxes were $79.99, and there was another booster box. Who sent it to me? Was it? I forget who sent it to me. Sorry, whoever. Oh, okay, yeah, here we go. So Paradox Rift booster boxes were $84.99, and Scarlet and Violet base set booster boxes are $79.99. And that message was sent to me on August 31st. It was a Labor Day weekend, so I think August 31st was a Friday, and then Labor Day was the 1st. Do you hear what I just said? Like, Scarlet and Violet base set booster boxes, $79.99. Paradox Rift booster boxes, $84.99 on sale. You were able to get an entire case. That was only 12 days ago at the time of recording this video. 12 days ago, you could have went and bought a Scarlet and Violet base booster box for $80. And I think you could have bought up to 6. I know you could have, because I looked into it. $80 a box. Okay? 12 days ago. But then, in that 12-day timeline, I could almost guarantee you without a shred of doubt, there were multiple Scarlet and Violet base booster boxes that sold for way over $79.99. And I just told you 12 days ago, you could have bought it for Labor Day, sales. So, who sent that to me? So, ZMB, not Z and G, Z and Band. So, Z and Band W. Thank you for the... I didn't end up picking up any of those because I already have my positions in all those, but I do appreciate the message because it was a good deal. And that was 12 days ago. $80 or $79.99, Scarlet and Violet base booster boxes and Paradox Rift for $84.99. Those are good prices. And the crazy thing is, if you went on TCG Player and looked at both those booster boxes, they're so insanely high compared to those prices. So, somebody said, thanks for the rattle restock tip. Yeah, no problem. All right. Matt said, I spent hours trying to find the best deals, but as I say, very hard in the UK. See, he said, very hard in the UK, as I don't think there is one PokeTuber has good investment knowledge, and we're going to get good deals in the UK. It doesn't exist. Yeah, so unfortunately, UK is something I cannot help you with. I wish I could. I think see, this is really pushing what I understand about distribution, but I understand, or at least my understanding is there's only one major distributor in UK. And yeah, I guess with fees and everything, it probably wouldn't even make sense for you to ship product over from the Americas and ship them over to the UK and be able to sell product. But I could be wrong. There could be a secondary market like that would be worth it, but I feel like your profit margins would probably be so small that you would have to do a ton of volume, and then to do a ton of volume it would be tricky. But I'm not going to say you can make a big $1 million business out of it, but you could probably make a couple bucks. Kind of do what Retrospecs is doing a little bit. Retro's doing that game, just, you know, sourcing from Japan and then just selling, you know, to the US market. And I don't know if I think he's kind of, yeah. So there is that option out there. Like, obviously Retro's doing it, like I said, with the Japanese product, but if you could do it with English products, sourcing it from the Americas, and then I just don't know if with taxes and fees and shipping, it would probably just eat into your margin so much that it might not even be worth it. And even to make a very small percentage, yeah, maybe the volume is just would be so incredible, and then like capital intensive, because if you're having them, you know, do this at scale, you could be talking maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if the profit margins are super small, it might not be worth your time. But yeah, I do wish there was a UK like PokeTuber that talked more like the nuances of the market, sort of like we do here. We talk about, you know, the nuances, we talk about restocks, we talk about best places to acquire product. I do wish there was a UK person that did that, because I would definitely tune in just to listen to it, to hear that different perspective. It's unfortunate that doesn't exist. So No Time 7 said, PK, why didn't they give us the Pikachu Indonesian type in English? I don't know. English just gets robbed of all these great promos. Let's see. Fatbelly Collect says, anyone else use their girls' friends' parents' Sam Club for Crown Zenith? Yeah, those Crown Zenith packs were a great deal. I think the cheapest I don't want to lie to you. I think the cheapest I picked up Crown Zenith packs for was through ETBs, and I think it was like $320 or $340, but I think you could have got it cheaper doing the Sam's Club bundles. And when I picked up those ETBs was right after the most recent Crown Zenith reprint, when prices were at the cheapest, and I think you still could have probably did better off with the Sam's Club. So yeah, I didn't do that play. I know a lot of people did, though. There was a lot of Crown Zenith packs that were floating around, that's for sure. So the same way as I said, now is the best time to pick up Pokemon 151 packs because there's the heavy supply. The same thing with those Sam's Club, like Rayquaza boxes and stuff. If you want Crown Zenith, now's a great time to pick up individual packs. So Eric says, hey PK, I commented last live about purchasing 10 cases of Temporal. I do have positions in other sets, but Temporal is the only set he has a large position in. Okay. Hey man, if you think Temporal's going to be the big set, like, go for it. You know, I'll give an example. If you told me, hey PK, I'm going to do 10 sets of Fusion Strike, and I would have said, oh, there's probably other better Sword and Shield sets to, you know, put your money in than maybe Fusion Strike. But Fusion Strike would have played out the best. In some of the sets I would have told you to put money in, as I would have said, put money in Lost Origin. I would have said put money in Brilliant Stars, probably over Fusion Strike. So if you took my advice and you put money in Brilliant Stars and Lost Origin and didn't do the 10 cases of Fusion Strike, you probably would have lost money. So even though I don't think Temporal Forces is the best set to put money in right now for Scarlet and Violet, the same way as I was wrong with Fusion Strike outperforming both Lost Origin and Brilliant Stars, you could also have that same situation play out for Temporal Forces. So if you believe in Temporal Forces as a set, go for it, man. I don't see anything wrong with it. So Jimbo says, I want to buy a box of Twilight Masquerade, but I feel like a sucker when Hills Wholesale has it for $660 a few weeks ago. Now it's $750. It was $590 when I started talking about it, something like that. The kid, he said, PK, what's good, buddy? Nothing, kid, what's up? Poke Kid, you gotta stop changing your name. Luckily, I was able to tell by your Pikachu with the Rayquaza outfit, but So Cheval says, so forget learning Japanese and learn Indonesian, right? This hobby is so demanding. Yes, you have to learn a lot of languages in this hobby. You have to learn English, you got to learn Japanese, you got to learn Indonesian, you got to learn Chinese. But then if you really want to get into the niches and where the big money is to be made, you got to learn Italian. and you gotta learn French. Shout out the ZNG Emporium. Every time some base set Italian card or French low pop hollow comes up, it just crushes all-time records. When I say there's money to be made in the deepest parts of the hobby, the riches are in the niches. That is a very true statement. So Jimbo Slice says, prediction for Japanese 151 booster boxes by the end of the year. I don't know. Whatever we're at today, add 20% to it. So if the cheapest you could find is 100, 120. If the cheapest you could find is 80, it's going to be 90. If the cheapest you could find is 70, whatever 20% of 70 is. So just add 20% to whatever the cheapest you can find it today will be what the price is. 20% by the end of the year. So that gives us pretty much 3 months. So you got the rest of September, October, November, December. So maybe even 3.5 months. 20%. Add 20% to whatever the cheapest you can find it. Don't ask me what the current market value of 151 is, because I think I said the other day in a live that somebody mentioned it was $100, and then I checked some of my sources. I was like, oh man, it's way cheaper than $100. But I think it is creeping closer to that $100 mark right now. Eric says, are you going to Chicago? PK, I am not going to Chicago. I wish. Can't do it, though. Yeah. Katie said, regional/country exclusive promos are really cool, but I kind of wish newer sets, they'd make a couple Pokemon species or variants region. Oh, that would be so cool. So Katie was saying if they made, like, Pokemon regional, like, exclusive, that would be pretty cool. And then it would kind of like force you to spread out, so you would have like a North American release of a certain promo, a UK release, a Chinese release, a Japanese release, an Indonesian release, a French release, an Italian release. Well, I mean, they kind of did it with the Pokestop promos because you had the Pokestop promos in different languages, but that wasn't to that scale. But it'd be very cool if you had like in that each Pokemon for that. Imagine like Worlds promos, right? So what are Worlds promos? They're Worlds promos, but in all these different languages, but you get them all at the same time. But like, what if you were able to spread out those Worlds promos and literally make them what it's in the words, world promos? Like, you have to get one from each region. Katie, I think you're on to something. That would be actually really awesome. And it would be a cool chase too. And it encourages like what's in the name of the game. It's Pokemon trading card game. It would probably encourage a lot of people to trade. It's like, okay, I'll trade you one of my, North American exclusive promos for maybe one of your UK exclusive promos. It would like encourage trade in this hobby, which that's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Yeah, so Check says 285 Sand Clubs pack price. So yeah, cheapest I ever got was what, $320. So you literally got it for about 40 cents cheaper by picking up those Sams. And I've been sitting on my Crown Zenith ETBs since that restock. So that was a while. So all right. Cheval says, gotta keep an eye on the hobby so I know when my 5 Hidden Fates tins will make me rich. Cheval, there's one guaranteed truth for this hobby, is every single person in this hobby is sitting on some sealed Hidden Fates product. There's nobody out there that doesn't have sealed Hidden Fates. I don't care what anybody says. You can't prove me wrong. Cheval says French. Ew. Yes. All right, guys. Listen. You know the deal. If I make it to the bottom of the chat, I'm going to end it. We're only 47 minutes in. If you guys had more questions, I would keep going. But somehow I made it to the bottom of the chat. But listen, guys. Appreciate every single one of you. Wait. We got one more question. So, No Time 7 said, question, what do you think about the Evolution set coming? Are you buying a lot of it at release? What's your strategy for the set? If you're already thinking about... Oh, of course I'm already thinking about. The problem is I'm also already thinking about the Team Rocket set. This is going to be an interesting thing, is spreading your money. Money is limited in this hobby. Some people have infinity money. Not everyone. But... it's going to be interesting to see if the Evolution set... I mean, you got the Dragon set coming out, but then the Evolution set, and then the Team Rocket set. And I don't want to go too hard in the Evolution set and miss out on a lot of the opportunities for, like, the Team Rocket set. And this is real crystal ball type stuff, and I don't know if this is going to play out. But I'm really, really hopeful for what Team Rocket promos can look like. So special, the same way as we just very, very recently, we saw the Greninja EX boxes and the Kingdra EX boxes, like super, super recently within the last, month from the Shrouded Fable. Those promos, just the promos alone, no-brainer. I talked about on lives. Every person opened those boxes, graded those promos, killed it. Made a ton of money. Those promos printed for a lot of people. They printed in not pristine CGC 10s, just printed in regular, CGC 10s. Obviously, PSA 10, huge premium. Shout out to PokeKid. PokeKid was one of the first to market, sold his PSA 10 Greninja Black Star promo for $285. Those things printed. But with that said, good promos are good plays. I'm hoping with the Team Rocket set, Cheval's mentioned Hidden Fates. What is one of the best parts of Hidden Fates? Well, one of the best parts of Hidden Fates is it had great promos for a lot of the sets. You think about Hidden Fates. The ETB promo for Hidden Fates was the stained glass bird trio. Great promo. That thing still to this day in a PSA 10 sells for like $60. Raw, it's super, super liquid card. For the Hidden Fates Ultra Premium Collection, you have the Shining Rayquaza. That Shining Rayquaza besides the Charizard, it's one of literally the most expensive cards in all of Hidden Fates. Is that Rayquaza Shiny that came from the Ultra Premium Collection for Hidden Fates. Then the tin promos, you had the Raichu and you had the Gyarados. Those don't have a ton of value, but the Hidden Fates Charizard promos, those Hidden Fates Charizard promos still have a huge premium to them, and a million of those things have been graded. So when you have great sets with great promos, it carries forever. Hidden Fates was a great example. I just talked about the Shrouded Fable promos that were just released. So if the Team Rocket can do it right, and they make great promos for these Team Rocket sets, I'm hoping for the Team Rocket ETB. I don't want any Pokemon on it. I just want a black ETB box with a big red R. Nothing else. You know what? I have right over the... You know what? This is what I'm going to do. For my next live, I have 1 million freaking empty ETBs over here. I'm going to take an ETB. I'm going to get a can of black Rust-Oleum spray paint. I'm just going to spray paint a ETB completely black. And then I'm just going to get a big R stencil from Michael's or wherever. And I'm just going to get a big R stencil. And I'm just going to paint it red. And I'm going to show you on this next live what a potential just most awesome ETB could look like. Just imagine it. Just a solid jet black ETB with a big red Rockets R on it. That ETB would slap. I'm doing it. I got black Rust-Oleum in the garage. I'm going to spray paint it. We're going to do it. And I'm going to show you how freaking awesome that ETB will look. It'll be so simple. And that thing will slap. You throw that in the background of anybody's display, and it will instantly... You don't even have to put a Pokemon on it. Just a big R. But then for promos, what is the ETB promo for this Team Rocket set going to look like? Super excited. What is the UPC promo going to look like? Super excited. What are all the collection... but Pokemon also has the ability... So the same way as Pokemon... Don't underestimate their ability to art. Don't underestimate their ability to make great cards. Don't underestimate also their ability to totally botch a set. I don't think this is going to happen. I think it's going to be a great set. But make no mistake about it. Somewheres in the craziness that exists of the metaverse, there is a world in which fucking Pokemon could totally botch this. Let's hope it doesn't happen. But that's the problem. I like the evolution set. That was a long-winded answer for that question. But yes, I like the evolution set, but I'm looking forward to the Team Rocket set. Jimbo said, do you think waiting for reprints is a dumb move to try to save money, or buy now and then buy more on a reprint? That's a great question. For me, it depends. Like, if you get, for me, money is, it's not unlimited. So I'm constantly turning and burning, moving my money around. So I think your best bet is to pick up now and then just keep a finger on the pulse of the market. If you could keep your finger on the pulse of the market, most of the times, the same way as I just told you, you could be on Discord groups, when product gets reprinted, and everybody's like, oh, distribution just said ask for our pre-orders for how much of a different booster box you want. There's going to be a huge reprint of this set. Blah 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 blah. There is a lag time that exists between when people find out reprints were going to happen to people putting in their orders, putting in their numbers, to eventually distribution sending out that reprint. There's a big window of time, and during that window of time, there's a lot of opportunities where you could exit out of that product. Problem is just a lot of people don't do that. But there's been a lot of, here's a great example of a product that I made alive. This is going back years ago at this point, but it was, at the time, Vivid Voltage ETBs were up to 140. Vivid Voltage ETBs, orange ETB, beautiful ETB with that, chunk of chew on there, and then also the Darkness Ablaze with the Eternus on it. Both, I think the Eternus was up to like 110, 120. The Vivid Voltage ETB was up to 140. And then there was like reprint announcements for those product, and it was hobby-wide. What I say, everyone knew about it. Again, we live in a bubble. People with distribution knew. I don't even have distribution, but I heard it. Like, people were like, hey, this is all coming out. There's going to be reprints of these ETBs. People were shocked, like, wow, I haven't seen Pokemon really go back and reprint ETBs. But anyways, even after the announcements for all those ETBs were announced, Vivid Voltage ones, I think, only went from like 140 after the announcement down to 120. And I literally went on a live and I said, listen, everyone, right now, Vivid Voltage ETBs were just worth 140 yesterday. Current market price for these are 120. We just got an announcement that these things are going to get reprinted. We don't know when the reprint's going to happen, but it's going to happen, and I promise you, these Vivid Voltage ETBs are going to drop in value. And what happened? They did. But there was a huge window of time where, yeah, maybe you missed your total ceiling of 140, but there was a huge exit opportunity of 120 for those Vivid Voltage ETBs for what felt like an eternity, and people just were still buying at that price. But again, people don't know when shit's getting reprinted. I think we just, and I do this all the time, we take for granted the amount of information we're constantly absorbing, the amount of information we're constantly consuming. And the average person, you could go do a test one day. Walk into your local LGS. Don't ask the LGS owner behind the counter, like, when reprint schedules are, but just some random guy in there buying packs off the shelf. Go up to that random person that doesn't work there and be like, do you know anything about Pokemon reprints? Do you know, like, can you take a guess? Like, does this guy probably use Southern Hobby? Does he, does Alliance restock Target? Does MJ Holdings restock Walmart? The amount of information even though you don't have distribution, that person just standing there at the shop would look at you dumbfounded, be like, I don't know any of these answers to any of these questions. And they would probably look at you like, why would I care? I'm here to pick up my Twilight Masquerade pack for $6. Like, that's what I'm here for. I don't know what you're smoking. I don't care about reprints. They're gonna say, yeah. So, all right. Let's see. I think, wow, so you guys wrote some questions. Good. I can't leave just yet. Inept card collector says, hey, at least we can remortgage our homes at low rates to buy Pokemon in 2025. Is that what's going to happen? Is the housing market going to crash again, or interest rates going to crash? Jimbo Slice says, I see a red ETB. I want it painted black, yes. We want the ETB R special PK. You know what? I'm going to do it, and I'm going to put it right there in the back. And I bet you it's going to look so badass. And people are going to look at that ETB, and people are going to be like, PK, what is that Team Rocket ETB you have? And I'll be like, oh yeah, that's a custom made ATB that I made just to prove a point to people. And I could probably just use like a Crown Zenith box. It'll look sick though, promise you. So yeah, people said they want the ETB-R special PKS. So we got number 1 mod in the game. People giving Drew a shout out. Inept Card Collector said PK is bullish on Michael stencils. Confirmed. Yes, I am very bullish on stencils. Cheval says they'll hit it PK with a yellow and purple ETB. Ooh, I hope not. I hope it is what I said it was going to be. Cheval says, except Hidden Fates keeps your dopamine up with constant hits. Evolving Skies will leave you with nothing but despair, yes. There's a reason why. There's a couple sets that the nicknames they were given, Evolving Cries is very true. It'll leave you crying. Shout out to Rattle Pokemon. Speaking of which, Rattle Pokemon, shout out to him. Stellar Crown, he's doing a big opening of Stellar Crown. I think like 1,000 packs tomorrow. So I think I saw on his live 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's going to start that. And I got to reach out to Rattle. I'll reach out to him as soon as this live's over. Ask him if he's still open later after my kids go to bed. I'll hop on. So yeah, but I recommend you guys all tuning in the Rattle stream and watching him, chase some Crown Zenith, or not Crown Zenith, Stellar Crown hits. Chris Letty said, do you think a $1,300 near mint base set unlimited bulk for $100 is a good deal? Yeah. If you could, yeah, I'm going to take your word for it. You said $1,300 near mint base set unlimited bulk for $100. Yeah, go for it. I mean, yeah, just go for it. Like, what's your downside risk? Yeah, go for it. Definitely worth it. $1,300 base set near mint. I mean, for $100. If out of that $1,300, if it's truly near mint, I'm taking your word for it that it's near mint, you could probably pull out a handful of like PSA 10 contenders. Even for unlimited, go look at an unlimited base set Pikachu. Go look at an unlimited Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander. Look at any of those cards in a PSA 10, and you have to grade like 2 or 3 of those cards, and you pay for all 1,300 base set near mint bulk. Do it, man. Like, go for it. There's almost no downside risk. So Pokenfun said, you also predicted Evolving Skies Pokemon Center ETBs are reprinted and unsold, never to see one again. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely be wrong. Chill and Rain was a great example of a... So Chill and Rain was the first ever Pokemon Center ETB that was ever released. Before Chill and Rain, there were no Pokemon Center ETBs. Obviously, there was a lot of ETBs that existed, always available at big box retail. Nothing that was ever Pokemon Center exclusive. So, I think I'm not even going to open that up. I don't even want to find it. But yeah. So, with those original, so what they made special about the Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs were that they were a little bit... you know what? I'll do it. Hold on. Okay. So, Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs. First ones ever were Chill and Rain. So, when they announced these Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs, the prices went up a little bit. So, MSRP was $39.99 for a regular ETB if you went into your Walmart or Target. But specialty ETBs always had 10 packs, but for regular ETBs, it was 8 packs. But for the Pokemon Center exclusive ones, they decided to bump up the number of packs to 10, very similar as you would get from like a specialty ETB. Well, what happened was the very first print wave of the Pokemon Center exclusive Chill and Rain ETBs, they accidentally put 8 packs in it. But they had already jacked up the price to, charge extra for those extra 2 packs. So what Pokemon Center ended up doing was they sent out to everybody, they sent them out these. So if you've never seen this before, this is an exclusive 2-pack blister that Pokemon Center sent to everybody as an apology, saying, listen, we know there were supposed to be 2 extra packs in your ETB and you didn't get them, but then they also added, the Galarian, Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres promos to it with like the Raikou coin and stuff. So it was pretty cool. But then the big thing was like, okay, well, Pokemon messed up. They accidentally put 8 packs in the first wave of Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs. Are they going to do a reprint of these? And then there will be the corrected ETBs that will now have 10 packs, blah, blah, blah. And then will you be able to hypothetically weigh out the older ETBs versus the new one because there's going to be 10 less packs? What did Pokemon do? They just never reprinted them again. So that's a little ETB history lesson for some of you guys out there. So please, Mr. Chud said, PK, watching from UK. Can't usually make your lives, but I watch each one on replay. Thanks for all your insight. I like your videos at 30 minutes. I like them at 60 minutes, and I still like them at 90 minutes. I appreciate that comment. Thank you. No Time 7 said, 151 Japanese is swinging hard. Some local Facebook seller known in his era went from 73 to 120, and the total value of 151 Japanese is one of the rare modern set near Evolving Skies total value. Wow. So 73 to 120. Again, Japanese 151 is just one of those products where, like, it wasn't a matter of if it was going up, it was just a matter of when. And you'll find out on my channel, it's something I talk about a lot. When things are worth it to buy, that's when I will talk about it. I won't talk about Japanese 151 much now because prices have gone up. But when prices were constantly trending down, if you go back, that's when I was making all my Japanese 151 videos. Talking prices are going down, and I started to say things at the beginning. I started to say cases, cases, cases. Then cases started to go up, and I was like, pick up a couple booster boxes. Then you got chances to buy cases again. I said cases, cases, cases. So it was a great opportunity. PokeChef 954 said, what up, PK? Miss you, buddy. Chicago? No Chicago. But PokeChef, shout out to PokeChef. I know he is doing eBay Live. So very cool, man. The #1 mod in the game gave the chef. So, Chef, I do have your signed cook card. I want to say, this could be a hot take. PokeChef, was I the first ever PokeChef full art signed card that you ever signed? Because I think I might have been. Because originally PokeChef gave me the small chef card when he gave me a gift card to where he works. But then I messaged him. I was like, dude, I appreciate this, but you got to give me the full art signature. And then he sent that to me. So PokeChef, am I the proud owner of the first ever PokeChef full art card signed by you? Because if so, that is something I got to frame, man. But as always, guys, yes, he said PK was the first. Chef, appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate everybody out there. Fact that I ranted for an hour and 7 minutes and you guys watch this week after week, year after year, month after month. I cannot thank you guys enough. I don't know how you do it, but if you do enjoy this content, please hit that like button. I don't ask for much. If you hit that like button, it might pump out this video through the YouTube algorithm to somebody that's never seen this channel, never come across it, and then maybe they will enjoy this channel as much as you. But if not, don't worry about it. Mason Cardinal Gaming never hits the like button. Drives me crazy, but it's okay. Mason, screw you. Everybody else, love you guys. But as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next video.